Not moving. There it goes.
Oh no.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going, folks?
We are live.
We're live.
We are live.
Oh my god.
That is thick.
Wow, Lock.
That is so
This
thick.
this is my Christmas hat
Yeah. Yeah.
that Fu made for me.
It's excellent.
Awesome.
She told
I
me
guess
how to
they said
pick-
everybody's really low. Hold on. That's why we're doing this. We actually just went live to make sure the volume levels and everything are good. Open the volume mixer. Okay, everything turned all the way up. Speak.
Hello?
Speak.
No,
That's the
you're not
sound.
my real dad.
Sit.
My
Roll
real
over.
my real dad's English, and he
Hmm.
looks like Bob Hoskins.
Does he now?
Oh, wow.
He does, yeah.
Did he
Looks
frame
like
Roger
Bob
Rabbit?
Hoskins and Phil Collins.
No. Okay, everyone says it seems fine. They said put that in your beard.
It sort of is.
They say maybe wear it in the back.
All right, a minute. Wear it like this.
Yeah, Tobran is red-nosed. He gets teased a lot.
Yeah. That's me.
Yeah, and Legendary Neurotoxin only has one hat. He wears that out all the time.
No, actually, I only wear it for this stream, and that's it. Otherwise, it goes in its little plastic package that it came in.
Cool. All right, well, we'll actually start the show. I guess the music sounds good. And we'll be right back.
What?
It's that time again for EverQuest's Next Into the Portal. Your hosts for this evening are
Know how it fits, but
Geekdomo.
like, almost wants you to wear it
Lock.
like an eye patch.
Legendary Neurotoxin and Tobran. I swear I'm going to fix it. I got some stuff in the works. We're going to have lasers and smoke. That intro is going to be great. Yeah, Trendane is not here tonight. He's having an operation. And, yeah.
He's having his elbows replaced with my boobs.
L-boobs.
No boobs.
They love your face. They love your face, Tobran.
Yay.
So, yeah, welcome everybody to EverQuest Next Into the Portal and EverQuest Next Discussion. Here we are. I, Geekdomo, am barely hanging in there.
Good.
I have a wicked migraine, and I don't know why they're laughing. Maybe it's our hats.
Just your mastery of the English language is
Mine?
glorious.
What'd I say?
What?
What?
Let's do the show.
Okay, we're back to doing the show. Anyway, so my head is splitting open right now. I'm having a hard time not just falling over dead. If I do, then you'll know why.
Yay.
Yay.
Hold up.
So, okay, let's... what's going on, guys? Tell me about... Locke, you have a big announcement to make about the show out in Vegas.
Yeah.
We're talking about SOE Live, which is in Vegas. And what would you like to... Would you like to say anything about it or not?
I don't know. Do you think something important's happening? All right. For those watching that are interested, you may know that I'm involved with a lady human called Fulala, who's watching right now. Hey Fu, and
Fu.
we have decided it would be the best thing for everyone if we got married at some time at the end of July. You're
Yay.
all invited. You can find us.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Congrats.
I'm utterly thrilled, and we will be, as part of our honeymoon celebrations of our nuptials, we will be attending SOE Live in Las Vegas. So hopefully, I will see at least some of you there. I know Neurotoxin will be there. Tobran will hopefully be my my SOE son.
Oh,
for the
yeah.
This will be my masterpiece, my video diary of SOE Live.
Yes, they're getting married in Vegas.
It will be my Citizen Kane.
You're going to get married by Elvis in Vegas. Then Locke's going to lose all of his gold rolling at the craps table. Uh-oh.
Oh, here it goes.
Hold on. Hold on. You just screwed up all the cameras.
You're welcome.
Hold on.
Hey.
We're live, so give me 1 second, everybody.
I don't care.
All right.
I was running back so fast, and I had to go pee when I got back to the house, and I didn't even have time to lick my hands afterwards. It was horrible. I just.
Mom, get off the stream.
Hold on. Let me fix it here.
I've told you so many times.
You guys can chat while I'm fixing this. Hold on.
Yeah, so SOE Live, it's a lot of fun. I went last year, I went this year. I was actually a panelist both times, which is also a lot of fun. But definitely check it out. You get to, see a lot of new stuff, get a lot of swag, shirts, posters, all sorts of other stuff. You can buy exclusive stuff that you really can't buy anywhere else or really at any other time. And most of the time you're going to be seeing devs and community people and folks that work at SOE everywhere. It's awesome. You get to drink with them. There's even a dev brunch you can get in on where you can sit down with the devs of whatever game you want, hang out, and eat breakfast or brunch or whatever meal it is for you by that point.
Can I sit and talk with the devs for Vanguard?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hell yeah. They're going to be there.
I don't
There's
think there
Vanguard
are any.
panels.
Is it really? I was joking about that.
No, I'm pretty sure they're still making content for it.
Locke, are you frozen?
I don't feel frozen.
He is. This is just awesome.
I'm a catalyst. I make things happen.
Locke,
This is
you're frozen, Locke.
this
in a very
this
nice
is some
smile,
serious
though.
tech issues, boss. This is.
It was a nice smile anyway.
While the tech issues are working out, do we want to move on to the next topic, or does anyone else have anything to say on SOE Live?
No.
SOE
There we go.
Live, come on down.
Oh yeah, so SOE Live is coming up next year in Vegas, baby. I'm hoping to actually meet up with these guys when I go to PAX East in April.
All right.
I'm hoping that I can meet them there because I can't go to Vegas. It just ain't gonna happen. But I'm going to Boston in April.
Oh,
Cool.
Boston.
Boston. I'm gonna have a tea party and everything. Just for
That's
you Brits.
racist.
In honor of you guys. Gonna have a tea party.
Well, thank you.
All right. So any devs here tonight?
Haven't seen anyone.
That's all you care about. You don't even want to talk to us anymore. You're just, is any
So, from what I understand, Wednesday was the marketing holiday party, and today is the dev team holiday
Oh,
party.
they're all drunk, man.
Yeah, or in the process of getting there.
Yeah, we
But,
drink coffee in
yeah.
Boston.
I think
Pocket
that's what's
cat.
going on at EA right now. I think everybody's getting drunk.
I used to work for Sony, and they had no problem giving out lots and lots of liquor for free. I don't know what that deal is with them.
So are they hiring at the moment, or what?
I don't know, but Omid
Only for
was.
senior stuff.
Omid is going to be getting Trendane a job.
All the jobs.
All the jobs.
jobs,
All
yep.
the jobs belong to Trendane.
Every job.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I want out of SOE Live. I just want to.
You just wanna get married?
I just
Yeah.
want to find Omid and just blank him. That's all I want. I want to be walking past and I want him to recognize me and like go to say hello, and I'll just sort of look at him and like look like I don't even recognize him. Just carry on walking.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm going. That's all I want.
That'd be fun.
The only time I saw Omid at SOE Live was after the EQ Next announcement keynote thing, and he had a drink in his hand. I think I might have seen him one other time with a drink in his hand, but that's it. I don't think he's
Bunch of
visible
alcoholics
in-
at Sony, I'm telling
Yeah, I don't think Omid's visible in real life unless he's actually got a drink in his hand. Otherwise, he's just invisible.
you. Sorol asked, why are you in low res? Locke is always low res. He actually exists in a different dimension, and so his resolution is a little lower than ours, but it's a little higher in the other one. He's actually 4K in the other dimension.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird though. Like a few generations ago, he was all like his family's all 8-bit and stuff. So this is like serious upgrade from then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on with the topics. Because my head is splitting open right now. Like my brains are leaking out my ears or something. So, okay. So first big announcement: the alpha announcement. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! So
it's not an announcement.
It's not. It's more of a present. What would you call it? They said that they were going to open up alpha in February, and we all said, "Yeah, right. They're not going to do that. They're going to give it to us in December." And then they said, "No, we're going to give it to the end of January," which is great. I'm digging that they're giving it to us at the end of January. I mean, it's better than nothing at all.
Well, they said it was a tweet from Mr. Smedley himself. They said we should have it in the second half of January, which it's not a promise.
Or
but
soon.
if he's tweeting it, it's a probably for sure. It's a definitely maybe. Well, they wouldn't say it.
Yeah, Smedley likes to announce dates that his team can't meet. That's from Dragon Monk. Oh, by the way, everybody, in the audience, if you'd like to ask a question of us that we can try to attempt to answer, just type in question in brackets. And you can do question in brackets, then the question itself, then question at the end if you want to get really fancy. Or you can just do it like a normal thing. Yeah, just like Legendary Neurotoxin wrote. And then if you do that, every time a question comes up, I will break a glass bulb.
Must have a lot of glass bulbs around.
I do. You guys can't hear it, but Twitch up at the top near the logo, if you have better Twitch, there's glass bulbs up there. And I was streaming today, and I kept hearing glass breaking. I'm playing DayZ, so I'm thinking somebody's going to be shooting me any second now. I'm like, looking around, thinking that somebody's going to jump out and kill me, and it wasn't that at all. It was me moving my mouse over these glass bulbs.
Yeah, I already broke all mine.
So I'm going to do that every time a question comes up, and here comes a bunch of questions. Great. Okay. Can everyone... this question needs to be answered right now because we can't let this one sit. What does Santa have in his sacks for you all? That's just...
I think Trendane should answer this.
Sweaty ice cream. Sweaty balls ice cream.
I'm selling Krampus's coal back to him for next year.
Tobran, his nose is all red, not because he colored it that way. He did a bunch of coke right before the show.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So...
Oh, God.
We're in rare form tonight, aren't we?
This is going well. This is definitely our most professional
Quality community content.
We are here for the community, everybody.
Quality.
Oh, here he goes. Omid
That's
shows.
why I'm here.
Oh, come on, Omid.
It's like the buffet.
Every time he shows up, it goes to shit. Yeah, it's
The only thing you regret, Omid, is that you didn't show up until the first 15 minutes. And that makes you feel so guilt-ridden that you wish you were dead. I understand, man. It's all good. Just hang out and have a good time, Omid.
Real quick.
I love the thought of him being in the office, just going, "Oh, do I have to watch it?" And Jordan's just there, like, pushing him back. It's like, "Oh, I want to go home. It's Friday." It's like, "No, you have to do it."
Awkward bit of information. He came over and watched my Star Citizen podcast the other day, and it was just so weird because it just don't see Omid in this sort of Star Citizen light. And I was like, should I start talking about EverQuest Next now, or should I, He was drinking scotch with...
Well.
Hey, Dex. Yes, the drinking game is every time there's a question, you must take a drink.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we get more questions that way.
Yeah.
That was a question.
That question.
Oh.
All right, Trendane.
No, it needs to be in the brackets.
Yes, it has to be in brackets, so ask that question in brackets, Trendane. Would you please,
Why?
everybody in the chat in this particular show has not heard about your new computer. Could you give everybody a quick rundown on the new PC?
I could.
Please?
Oh, you mean right now?
Yes, please.
I see. Okay.
Before we move on to the next topic.
Well, it's doing quite well. It's I thought that it was starting to make noise the other day because I was starting to hear a hum coming from
from that area, and then I realized that it was actually that one external, that IDE drive, because there's no IDE plugs on the motherboard. So I had to hook up this adapter and plug it into the USB thing, and it was the drive that was humming.
Yeah.
It wasn't my computer. So when I was like, oh god, now it's starting to make noise and everything, and then I unplugged it, I was like, oh no, it's so quiet when I lean over the machine, I can't hear it. Because when I first powered it up, I didn't think it was on.
Right.
So I pushed the button and the LED turned red, and I was like, oh crap, something's wrong. I was like, I don't hear anything, the LED is red, what the hell? And then my monitor came up, it's like, starting Windows. I'm like, my god, that was fast. I was like, I was going to be waiting another 3 minutes before I was going to be able to open Chrome. What the hell?
Right. Well, it's because the squirrels in the other one were much noisier.
Yeah.
And their little wheel that they used to run around on.
Well, I ran out of that really thin oil you use on airplane engines.
WD-40?
I ran, no, really thin, really low viscosity, and I ran out of that, and so their wheels started squeaking a lot. But that's okay. When I got the new machine, I just ate them. So
yes, little squirrel sandwiches. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. Thank you, Trendane, for the update. And yeah, his new computer is humming right along. And if you notice, Trendane is in a higher resolution than Locke at this point.
And I was just like, what?
It's just a fact for all you resolution fans out there in internet land.
and I don't think you can see my hat very well. So hang on just a second.
Your hat is a bit erect.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better. Hang on. Because it's got kind of this
spin around.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice.
It's cool. It's one of those. What's the girl from The Grinch?
It's kind of Susie Who.
Susie Who. It's a Susie Who hat.
It's my Susian Christmas hat.
Yeah. Omid says that's good. I'd rather see Locke in lower resolution.
Pervert.
Beautiful. All right. So our next topic of discussion is
Our next topic of discussion.
What?
Sorry.
For discussion. I told you I got a wicked headache. Don't beat me up over my mispronunciations of your English language.
No, I'm not saying that.
What?
It just it doesn't matter.
Oh, well then stop laughing at me every time I speak. You're making me self-conscious and stuff. Okay. The Stars of Home short story. So I have not read it, but Tobran says he's read it and put it into his database.
Yes.
So would you like to tell us a little bit about the Stars of Home short story?
It's a good book, really short though, like 20 pages.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
It's only,
Really
I think,
short.
about 15 of content.
Wow, okay, so really short story. Involves the story of a dwarven thief who goes out and literally changes the world around him. It's pretty cool. Ending is really brutal. Not gonna lie. Brutal ending, but overall it's a pretty good story. But it leaves it on a bit of a cliffhanger as well.
Does he use the tools from Landmark to change the world around him?
No.
No?
Can't confirm, no.
You can confirm. Okay, it's confirmed he does not use the Landmark tools to change the world around him. I was just wondering.
But for those of you who don't speak Scottish, he said brutal and not brittle. Just
Yeah, peanut brittle. It's a very peanut brittle ending. Every time he laughs, too, you see his head goes down, he's snorting some more Coke.
Yeah.
That's why his nose is so bright red.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's worth checking out reading it. It's not a very long read, and the pages are actually really small too. So people who don't like giant pages, it's not like
the page is like a 4x5 card.
Yeah,
and it's 40-point type.
Teeny. It's so teeny tiny. Like you'll read it in like 15 minutes. It's a short one.
Nice.
But it's definitely like gives a kind of an indication of the scope and scale of magnitude of the kind of events that could happen. And how suddenly they can happen. That it goes from kind of everyday life from the beginning to, well, I'm not going to reveal it by the end, but it gets wild.
Cool. What else? Go ahead.
The
well, I thought
anyone
Trendane
else
was going
want to say anything?
I thought Trendane was going to say something, but okay.
I was thinking of the 1960s Batman, Mr. Freeze. Why is the man the why?
Nice.
Oh, your new nickname is Meth Bear, Tobran.
Meth Bear.
We're going off. We're in La La Land today. All right.
So, the video about the day-night response.
Mhm.
That
we have an answer. They said it is going to be 2 hours. They've made a decision, and that's it. Whether you like it or not, all you people out there, and it's 2 hours.
Let me ask. Go ahead, Trending. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what is it? 36 minutes
72 minutes, I thought, was what they
overall, but 36 and 36 was what Omid said in the video.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, why that number? Does that round out to something in a bigger?
Well, maybe it fits into a 24-hour day of real
That's
time.
the only thing I think
evenly.
of, but my math skills are. So I don't know how many.
How many times does 36 fit into a 24-hour day?
I don't know.
No, I was asking the other guys who might be better at math.
Okay. All right.
Well, it's like half an hour and a tenth of an hour, isn't it? So I guess it's.
Oh, now you're making two math problems out of one.
Well,
Let me ask
yeah.
Omid something then. Omid, if you could verify this in the chat. I'm playing a lot of DayZ, and it's a 24-hour clock on DayZ, and it takes about, I think, 8 hours to go from full day to full night and then back around again. So 16 hours total, I think. 20 hours per day, I forget. Anyway, but at nighttime in DayZ, you can take the slider and you can slide the gamma all the way up, and you can slide the brightness all the way up. And when you do that, it turns everything black and white, but I can see just like it's daytime, but it's completely black and white. Is that possible to do in EverQuest Next, or is there a way that you sort of can get around that nighttime thing where it's instead
Soon.
of...
Oh, that's not the answer.
No, I'm just asking if there's if the gamma slider negates
He
night.
says, "Oh God, no."
Well, I don't know if that's for that. I was still in the middle of
he's
talking
still
when he
delayed.
said that. Yeah.
Well, I suppose even if they took a gamma slider out of the actual game, you could still do it on the monitor, or you could do it with third-party programs. So they'd have to design around it eventually, which is another reason why I think, when they were talking about talking about nighttime before, they did say that it's not going to be pitch black. You're going to be able to sort of find your way around, which I guess
Like a
if you
moonlit
play a
night.
game like DayZ, when it's dark, it's it's just blackness. Like if you're out in the middle of the woods without a light source, you can't really see it all. But I think if they make it so you can at least kind of navigate yourself, then that shouldn't be too much of an issue. It'll just make you
Omid
screen.
has literally no idea.
Oh, that's what he says. Yeah.
I mean, the other thing to think about with it is the further away you are from cities and sources of light, the less light pollution you're getting, so the more kind of atmospheric light you're getting from stars and moons and such. So that could also be a factor. Is you're going to have maybe like an ambient 5-10% illumination or something at most that is going to be a constant everywhere, plus or minus any low light racial ability. But then it'd be a matter of as you use light sources, you might potentially be compromising some ability to see at some ranges, but being able to see really well close up. Or I'm not sure necessarily how it would work out, but definitely I can see how they could give maybe not necessarily an advantage, but some sort of default. You can at least see like slightly in front of you, and you can see like where the horizon line is,
Omid
even
says
without a light source.
that I imagine that the gamma sliders will help, but the goal is not to have a night and day be interesting but not punishing. In EQ1, you guys are 99 are finding this, and both of you are humans, right? Or you're what else?
Humans.
Are you both humans? So at night, humans in the first EverQuest can see nothing. Like, nothing at all. It's pitch black. And
Maybe that's why they can't find a goddamn tree.
That could be.
Stuff like that.
And so I'm glad to see that at least in this game you'll be able to see a little bit, but I would like to see the racials. I would like to see the Dark Elves be able to see sort of that ultraviolet look that they used to be able to see in a little bit. I mean, even if it's just a tiny little bit of that at night so you can see just a tiniest bit better, I think would be cool. But Landmark, remember, is only humans as far as we know for right now. So any of the other kind of racial things are kind of out the window until that actually comes out anyway.
Omid, it's the Morgard. The Morgard. We should talk to him about the story. Which these are we talking about?
I don't know.
All of them. I don't know what it is.
I don't either.
Well, in about 15 seconds, he'll catch up with us. And, well,
Yeah.
So-
Let's sit here and wait patiently.
One thing I am wondering about is how destructible, trees will be if you can just light them on fire and use them as giant torches.
Interesting point.
We'd try that. It would work.
Do we have to fill the tree with dwarves and a hobbit and a wizard first, or
Yes.
we just light them?
And the orcs must be below them.
Either way,
Okay.
I suppose it would work.
Oh, so Morgard is the
without-
official lore guru.
Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry, I thought it was something in EverQuest.
Oh, awesome!
I thought
So
as
I can ask something that I want to know. How does magic actually work? Is it like things being leaked in from some other plane? Is it gift from the gods? Is it like midichlorians or something?
Please
How does
no
magic
midichlorians.
actually work?
No.
Don't say.
Metachlorians destroyed. It's like Highlander. Remember the first Highlander? It could have been a human that became immortal, and then they're from the planet Zeit, which is German for time, and it just ruined the entire story. Metachlorians killed Star Wars. That's all I'm gonna have to say.
I
about
think a
that.
lot of things in that film killed.
Yeah, if you like or hate the stories, it's his fault. Oh, so Morgard is the writer of these stories. I didn't realize we had 3 devs here tonight.
When Omid first said, it's Morgard, I didn't read it as Morgard. I read it as Moonguard, and I thought he was going to be talking about Pornshire in WoW, and I was like, what kind of stories are we writing now? Because I mean,
we're reaching all age levels, I think.
The old
Age groups.
Moonglade. What is happening tonight? Everyone's gone insane.
Oh
around.
yeah, it's a full moon. It's the end of the week.
It's not.
Christmas starts
God.
like in 2 or 3 days, and so it's just everybody's like losing their mind. Okay, so Morgard says we have an answer to that, but I can't tell you right now because a lot depends upon the information.
Okay.
All right,
gotcha.
so thanks for coming, Morgard, to our show. You're going to be disappointed like the rest of us.
oh wow, yeah. Unless you like watching, Scottish guys disappear out of frame like every 15 seconds because we got tons of that.
Yeah. To come back up with a red nose.
Sorry.
You got to rub your teeth a few times too and make like
That's-
noises.
That's what the handlers are for. They're pulling back up. No, get up here.
That was kind of a tease, Morgard. Okay. So let's move on to our next topic. Number 3. Item composition in history. So this is a thesis or a treatise on item composition in history by our none other than Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin. So I will let him take the floor.
Yeah, this is a little bit more of an abstract concept, and I say that because it doesn't get into too much of the finite specifics, just because we haven't been exposed to what's exactly going to be in EverQuest next. So it's really hard to quantify or put values to everything. Kind of the same with the brewing document, that I couldn't really get into too much material detail because I'd just be making stuff up the whole time. But the item composition history is basically looking at 2 major factors about equipment and how they could really increase kind of the character of the equipment itself and give each item its own kind of personality and place in the world. So composition refers to both the materials that go into it, the composition of the blade itself and the alloys used, how the hilt is designed and balanced, the materials used, and then any other magic gems or enchantments or any sort of stuff like that. And then there's the structural, which is how it's actually designed. In how the equipment is actually designed, how it functions, how the design and shape and everything works for the person who's using it. So one example I give is if you've got like a metal cooking pot with a chin strap, sure, it might protect your skull from getting smashed if you get hit by a sword or an arrow or something, but it's still going to ring your bell. It's still going to basically, you're going to have a migraine, possibly a concussion. So that compared to like I think it's a bassinet, the helm that kind of comes to a point in the back that actually is acoustically designed, so when you get hit, all the sound is up here and it's not here in your head. So that's on the structural and material composition side. Now on the history side, that's more what the actual item has been through, how many times it's killed a certain type of creature, who's ever worked on it, the different crafters, different people who have owned it, parts that might have been swapped out from other items, like a hilt and a blade from two different things put together. And, the different things that it's been through kind of build up not only a set of influences that could then be used to increase the potential of the item, but it also, there's the chance that things that are involved with major events, like a particular rallying call, might have extra bonuses or benefits related to them. Or, for example, if you've got some cloak that only captains during a specific rallying call would wear, then enemies who see it, they'll send their assassins after you, and you'll have to fight more things just because you have this item with history. So the combination of both the material and component side, as well as history and who's actually had a background with the item, and potentially how much more powerful it can be magically enchanted based on all of that, or otherwise improved, is more or less the point of that document. So it didn't really get a whole lot of discussion. So definitely do check it out, read it, and post something about it. And I've already got the next document underway, which is about ancestral lineage and how that can play into either character creation or gameplay in general.
Do you have a link to the document?
Yeah, I was looking for it and I can't find it.
Okay, if you could post that. And now, people in the chat were saying, well, wait a second. He writes these very, very detailed documents that have extremely minute details that will never make it into the game. And while that might be the truth for a lot of the stuff that he's writing about, certain parts might. You never know. He might come up with an idea where the devs sit down and look at his document and go, you know what, that's not a bad idea. We might be able to implement that. And so, I support Mr. Neurotoxin in all of his long rambling posts because there's good stuff in there, and I recommend you guys read them. And yes, Omid and everybody else who might have missed earlier, Locke is now off the market. He is officially engaged. He's getting married at SOE Live by Omid. Will officiate the event. He's going to be standing right next to Elvis.
I don't want Omid within 50 feet of me.
Playing Landmark.
Having the necessary legal work done before I attend the event.
It's too bad you couldn't have proposed to Fu in-game, because I proposed to my wife in-game. So,
that's so cool.
Yeah, you could have proposed to Fu in-game.
Maybe I'll do it anyway, just for the hell of it.
Oh, Cyril said she had a sister for you. So it's awkward.
You're gonna be sitting next to the band that did that damn "What Does the Fox Say" song. That sucks.
I don't even know what song that is, but people talk about it all the time.
Yeah,
it's an internet thing from the internet.
It's one of those internet words and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we where is the Foo? Everyone wants to see the Foo.
The Foo's upstairs.
She's watching. She's actually in the chat roll.
She's probably playing Pokemon or something.
Oh, nice.
But we will be there. We'll be on our honeymoon at SOE Live. So, like I said before, anyone who wants to say hello and congratulations and shower us with gifts and adoration, that would be acceptable.
Locke is off the market, and a good close second is Tobran. So, any of the ladies out there want to throw somebody at him?
and by close we mean they're in the same, well, not the same country, but they're on the same island.
Mm-hmm. They probably have some genes that are similar. All right.
Probably all Jordache.
Probably Jordache, yeah. Mm. Maybe some Aeropostale genes.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Omid could be your ring bearer.
How can he officiate and be the ring bearer and not come within 50 feet of Locke?
Very carefully.
He can roll the ring up the aisle. Just like he's doing crapshoot or something. Just chuck the ring up the aisle. Okay. So, Q&A time. Yeah. We're just having a great show tonight, man. I tell you what. I don't know what the problem is.
One of the all-time classics. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, should we mention the two videos that went
up? Oh God, yeah. Let's do that. Let's hold on to Q&A time.
Have we even talked about Roundtable as well?
Yeah, we just did.
Yeah.
About the servers.
Where
Oh,
were
the
you?
specialty servers.
Oh, the
Yeah.
specialty servers. Okay, I'm sorry. Take the floor. I'm sorry. I forgot about
Oh.
those.
Oh, it just came back. Oh, my
Oh.
heart hurts.
I have a feeling you've got a big rant to go on.
I'm not going to do it.
No, you can, Omi. This is your...
I'll do
Omi.
it.
I just called you Omi.
Promise,
Lock.
promise,
It's like
promise.
chili or something. Oh God! It just
Yeah, I know. He's got like regurgitation going on. Okay, Lock. Take a breath.
I'm trying.
And just let it flow. Let yourself go, slow and low. That is the tempo.
Oh, I'm going back to the dark place. Okay. Speciality servers. I understand. I understand why the question's being asked, and I understand why people are answering in the way that they are. Especially with RP servers, like a lot of people like to role play. You know, you want to kind of protect that environment. You know, you want to actively discourage people getting in the way of that, and you want to create an environment where that works. So okay, fine. PvP servers with full open PvP. I am as someone who enjoys PvP and as someone who enjoys open world PvP, I do not agree with. I don't think PvP servers are a good idea at all, because like every other game, a game should be designed as a complete thing in itself. It should have a complete set of rules that all make sense and all work together. And if you split servers and have different rule sets like that, you're basically adding or removing certain conditions from the game that then completely alter how the entire thing is played. So how can it possibly be a consistent experience like across both of those different things? Same as speciality servers. Just things like people go, "Oh, I want a permadeath server." It's like, no, you don't. You want a game that is designed with permadeath in mind. Like you can't just take an MMO and just say it's going to be permadeath now, because it alters everything about the game. Like DayZ is permadeath, brilliant game. Minecraft is permadeath, brilliant game. But then you take a game, you know, a traditional MMO like, you know, like EverQuest 2 or World of Warcraft or something. You put permadeath in that, absolute and total rubbish. Like it doesn't make sense in like any way at all, and it really baffles me. And I mean, I'm glad to see like the kind of clicks at the moment are saying that, you know, I'm in the majority thinking that, but RP servers even, like, I feel kind of sad that the question is, how can we help you as a player base avoid each other? How can we help you just completely diverge and not interact with people that play the game and interact with the world in different ways? Like, what I really want, I've said this time and again, I've done a video about it as well, is how can we take all different kinds of players, explorers and completionists, and the type A, I want to be on the bleeding edge of progression players, and the PvP players, and the crafters, and the social players, and the people that come on and play for 2 hours a week. How can we get all of those players together? Like, what tools can be implemented within the game that allows everyone to come together and make one coherent world, rather than, you know, giving us ways to avoid each other? Shouldn't the game be giving us tools that benefit interaction between those different people and create a much more compelling and rich world for us all to inhabit? And that's my rant over, because we've been going on too long already.
I didn't even get a chance to.
Well, I was doing the soapbox cam. That was
my restrained version. Sorry, someone's asking why doesn't it make sense? Why doesn't what make sense? Permadeath makes perfect sense in a world with no levels to lose.
Here's what I'm going to say. I definitely agree with you that a game that's not designed for hardcore can't just be automatically made hardcore, and that's that.
There is. There's already a hardcore mode. There's already a permadeath mode. It's called delete character. If you want to play hardcore, you can do it. You can do it. Nothing's stopping you. And people go, "Oh, but that's not fair." Shut up. That's not the way you do it.
Well,
you want to delete your character.
Tell us how
delete
you
your
really
character.
feel.
I'm not stopping you. No one's stopping you. Or even if you were playing a game where you physically couldn't delete a character, make a new one. God's sake. Oh, it's not fair.
no,
You want to roll a hardcore server, and it really annoys me.
So
I'm
what are the-
looking at
what
it
we
from
fo-
this angle here? It's that Wizardry is basically the inverse. It is built as a hardcore game. It is built with permadeath. So making a non-permadeath version of the game is unconscionable. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Like you like Neurotoxin's absolutely right. If you look at it from the other direction as well, it makes no sense. It's like, have you ever played survival Minecraft with the keep inventory thing? Lose like all interest, immediately lost. Like, can you imagine DayZ, where if you died, you respawned with everything that you.
Oh, I know. It's the game loses everything.
Total nonsense,
Yeah,
and like absolute nonsense. It'd be ridiculous. But then on the other hand, imagine Battlefield 4, where every time you get shot, you lose everything, and you have to like go around and loot guns and everything again. It'd be insane. And anyway. Like, delete character. There's
okay,
you've already got a permadeath mode.
Well, let me ask. I mean, I should have asked you before you went on the rant. Could you please explain the different servers that they're talking about? Because some people might not know what you sort of went on this rant about.
Right.
There's one with the roundtable question
PvP,
this week. So, yeah.
Hardcore with permadeath and special rule sets, or no specialty servers.
Right.
They are the 5.
And obviously, that's you're the no specialty server guy.
Me?
No.
Oh, right.
Mr.
I just think what I want to see is I want to see a system that encourages people to come together. I don't want, everything that we've said about EverQuest Next. It's all about bringing people together and bringing the social aspect back to the MMO. And if you start giving people different areas to go into, all you're doing is fragmenting the player base. And all those people with the ludicrous signatures on the forums where it's like, I want this rule and that rule and that rule and that rule. It's like, you want a different game. That's what you want. You don't want this game. And that's fine. It doesn't it doesn't it doesn't affect me in any way, but like, just why come into a game and say, oh my god, I love this game so much, let's make it completely different.
Yeah, let's add.
Well, let's just tack on. Let's say, okay, I want this game exactly, but I don't want any fast travel. It's like, okay, the game is designed with travel times in mind. It's not arbitrary. They don't just throw a load of things down onto a giant map on the floor and go, that's where our cities will be. It's very carefully designed with like metrics in mind, and length of play sessions, and how they want the world to operate. And as soon as you take out a system of travel from that, it's like, well, shit. You know what I mean? It was like when Guild Wars 2 were coming out and everyone was like, we want mounts, it'll take forever to get anywhere. It's like, no, they're designing the game without mounts.
Right.
So they've worked out the travel times. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I've worked so much this week and I'm about to pass out.
Rants are fine, because obviously you're passionate about it and I can see the passion. I just, I think that different servers are okay.
Yeah, my answer to the hardcore server, I'd actually rather see it done more in the roguelike style of games that have been popular these days, where you die, but your next generation gets to kind of inherit some of the stuff and
well, that's what's
continue where you
happening with
left
Star
off.
Citizen. Star Citizen, you put down when you make your character, you put down who the person is in the will, and it could be, you'd say that it's my niece named Sally, okay, is my inheritor of my estate. What happens is if you die in that system, it's permadeath, and then the next character that shows up is a female named Sally that you can't change the name, but you can change the way she looks, and there you go. Now you're right in the game, and now you're playing that character, and then she has to name who the person is for her. But that's the way they're building the system from the ground up, and I do agree with what Locke is saying, is that it's
cool. That what they're doing in Star Citizen and the roguelike thing, really fun mechanic, works really well, and in terms of role-playing games, actually makes more sense than either permadeath or a continuous character that's just immortal. Like it does, it really makes sense, but I mean, not within the context of the type of MMO that EverQuest Next is. People are still in chat saying hardcore stuff. Just delete your character. Just delete it.
Yeah.
You've already got hardcore mode. You've got Iron Man. And then the higher level you get, you go, look how far I've got without dying. Look how brilliant I am everywhere. I avoided all risk.
I'm gonna put this one out there. PlanetSide 2 hardcore mode.
Yeah.
Wouldn't work.
No,
it would not.
no.
It would be hilarious. It would be so funny. It would not work. It would be hilarious.
Now people are saying, oh, World of Warcraft has 4 different types of servers. It's like, yeah, you've got open world PvP where no one is ever flagged for PvP ever. And even when I have been in situations, max level character in PvP gear, flagged for PvP. See another guy who's also like exactly the same way. I go, oh my god, it's finally on open world PvP 1v1. I've been waiting this for flying mount. I was gone.
Yeah. You'll never get him down.
And it's ridiculous because why would you even, and the whole like flagging thing for PvP is utterly ridiculous. Why would you flag yourself for PvP if other people could not flag themselves and go, oh, look at that guy's flagged for PvP. Let's wait here and call all our friends. We'll just wait for everyone to get here, and now we'll flag for PvP.
Yeah, there's no perfect system, that's for sure.
It sounds like it's a lot different from
PvP servers. Are you joking?
How does that even work?
Well, it's supposed to be that, you know, the Horde hates the Alliance and the Alliance hates the Horde, and you know, you role play it out, but honestly, you're still just going to go out there and teabag somebody after you kill them.
Exactly. It's ridiculous because people can RP while they're PvPing, but it puts you at a disadvantage in the same way that flagging yourself for PvP puts you at a disadvantage, so no one does it.
My idea of PvP RP was going on an RP server and binding a full 256 character message with every single skill ability. So whenever I would do any special attack, it would spam chat with something. So by the time you finish fighting me, it's like this epic boss battle has happened. There's, you know.
Well, you say like, and now legendary neurotoxin hits you with smite. And then now legendary neurotoxin.
Well, no, not doing it like that, but saying it as my character as I will strike you down with the thunderous might of Earthshock or whatever.
Right. That's kind of funny. Trendane, what is going on with you?
What do you mean?
Sick of hearing me talk.
No, I'm pretty much laying down in my chair, so I can get all of this, and it's kind of squishing my throat a little bit. So,
You look a bit uncomfortable, actually.
It's very uncomfortable.
Shadow Hope said that my standard roleplay is quite a bit different from what roleplay is on most communities. I don't believe it, but I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Who is this guy in chat? Hardcore players want hardcore because your way of playing games is solitaire.
He's trolling you. Wow. Just ignore him. All right, so let's go on. Before we get starting to fight with everybody in chat.
Just delete it. Do it. Okay. Let's go on now. Let's both log into EverQuest and we'll play until we die, and then we'll delete our characters.
Right, that's gonna be what? 1 minute tops.
Yeah, a rat will kill you at level 1.
Well, let's go into
the
permadeath game that I play. We'll play that till we die. It'll be great.
Okay. So anyway, there was 2 videos that came out about 15 minutes or so before we started the show, and I actually have them here. We're just going to we'll talk about them. I'll show them in the background. The first one is a video of we finally get to see a little bit of the snowy environment, which is an Everfrost.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's just looping around, and then Terry and and Rosie are like, I'm sorry, I can't make it stop doing that. I tried for like 5 minutes. I was like, okay, forget it. They're just gonna like go really fast there.
It's cool, isn't it? I love the snowman.
Yeah, the snowman is a very cute touch. Merry Christmas. So there we go. Well, go ahead. You want to talk about it?
Oh no, I was gonna say there's snowmen in Planet Side 2 right now. There's a special gold one you can get, which gives you a gold hood ornament of the snowman. Unfortunately, because of how it looks and the shape and the hat, it just looks like a Soviet poop monster.
Okay.
So I've been trying to get that. I'm probably gonna get back to that when we're done with the show.
And then this was a video showing the tropical biome with the different types of textures you can add to or take from the environment. I really like this one. It's showing a lot more close-ups of. Is that Daxella? No, that's Colette.
No, that's a rock.
Yeah, the casting animations are really cool.
Yeah, and I like the way her hands are moving around. when she's rotating stuff.
Kind of makes me think of
Yeah.
that like Minority Report look.
Yeah.
The hands and the doing the things on the screen.
I really liked in the procedural generation video hearing Terry Michaels talk about how the world was being procedurally generated, just to be massive, and so they could keep producing new areas a lot quicker than they would be able to otherwise. Because there was a lot of concern from the community about areas filling up, or certain areas like being all the best areas being taken and whatever. But it's looking like hopefully we'll be able to just go out and explore for a long, long way. I'm hoping. I got my little fingers crossed.
Do you think that they made the day and night cycle so short so they could actually show off the cool light being cast across the terrain?
Wouldn't you? I love the way the light works with the environment. It's great.
If I remember correctly, during different phases of the pre-launch for PlanetSide 2, they would have accelerated time specifically for that purpose. So yeah, I could definitely see for testing purposes, potentially even all throughout Alpha, having an accelerated day-night just so we can get through things a lot quicker and be able to, I guess, spot any weirdness or oddities and be able to report it quicker.
Cool. All right, so there's the old videos. Now we can go ahead and go on to our Q&A time.
Q&A time.
Q&A time. All right, who's been playing?
This guy's still going. Let people play the way they want. You have no right to ridicule people's preference. Seriously, mate. I said, if you want to play hardcore, play hardcore. No one's stopping you. The option is there. I'm just saying, the game's got to be designed with it in mind. If the game isn't designed with hardcore in mind, it doesn't make sense to have a server where that is a rule. If you want to play hardcore in a game that isn't designed for hardcore, you can. When you die, delete your character. If you want to play a game that is designed with permadeath in mind, awesome. Come play DayZ with me. It's brilliant. And it's permadeath. We'll have a great time.
Are you playing DayZ standalone? Did you get it?
Yeah, I've been waiting for it for ages. I'm so chuffed it's come out. It's still very alpha-y.
But are you playing it?
You can see the sort of framework of something really brilliant that's gonna be put on top of it.
Yeah, are you playing it though? I'm asking because you could play it with
right
me.
now.
Not the second. No, but I'm doing pretty good. I've done 9 hours of live streaming of it in the last 2 days, and so I'm a bit fried from DayZ, but I love it anyway. It's such an addicting game. All right.
Yeah.
So questions. Trendane, would you like to read the questions for tonight?
Can I sit up?
No. Yeah, you can sit up now.
Okay,
We've seen enough of your hat.
Thank you. I really appreciate that because it's just that's much better. Okay. Have they been linked in the? Has anybody been linking them in the chat? Because I don't
haven't.
See them.
We didn't give a.
I guess
Mika is not here tonight. We kind of just assumed she was.
All right, everybody. All the questions that you posted throughout the entire show, ask them
again.
now.
Do it.
No, I'll go and find some. Wait, it only goes back so far. Crap.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Everybody make judicious use of your up arrow if you ask a question. Go back through your chat log, find it, and re-enter it again.
All right, well, I'll start grabbing some that I can grab, and then...
Okay, so I believe this one was from Chuina, if I remember correctly. And hello, Chuina. Thank you so much for coming to our show. Chuina also runs... or are you the moderator, I guess? The host, one of the hosts of the Evercast show. Very, very cool podcast.
Oh, yeah, I love Evercast, yes.
Yeah. And his question was, where can I find the guy in the Nagy hat? They actually already talked about it, so we really don't need to answer it.
But yeah, at Legendary Neuro, if you want to get me, my Twitter is working now. It was unsuspended. It was suspended last week because Twitter's weird sometimes. But now it's working just fine. So hit me at Legendary Neuro, and if you've got any questions or you want to, blow digital farts at me, I guess that'd be a place to do it. Twitter seems like the acceptable realm. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, please. So, do you find ho 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 offensive? Now, for me personally, I am not a ho. You call me that once, twice, thrice, I'm gonna kick your ass.
He will. I've seen him do it. Vicious.
It's just fierce.
Fierce.
Oh my gosh, I can't find any of these questions.
People listening. Rabbit Chicken MC asks, "What biome are you most excited about?" Anybody?
Foresty areas. I kind of like green stuff.
I want to see the diversity in desert and hard chaparral and those kind of terrains, because there's really a whole lot of diversity in what a desert is and what it can have in it. It isn't just this sandy, lifeless place. A lot of deserts actually have a lot of awesome stuff. And they also burn all the time, but that's besides the point.
And they freeze.
That's true.
I do. I like the more snowy one for my initial purposes. It'll make the most sense doing my dwarfy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping we see more different ones. Actually, they said, didn't Rosie Rappaport, is that her name?
Yeah, Rosie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rosie Rappaport. That had a little senior moment there. Yeah, she mentioned the lava storm biome, which could be a very interesting one. I'm sure a lot of cool stuff will come out of that.
I think
So, yeah,
I think you technically have to pronounce that like Macho Man, Randy Savage. I think it has to be Lava Storm. You want to say that?
Lava storm. No, that's more movie announcer.
Oh. For myself, virtually anything alpine. Right where you reach the tree line and the snow line, where you go from the green to the snowy. That's one of my favorite. Love the alpines. If you look up almost any picture of Banff National Park in Canada, that is my ideal biome right there.
Northeast.
Gotta love it.
Sharknado biome. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, here's an interesting question. If you could make any class you want, what would each of you make?
Oh, I know exactly.
Go ahead then. You go first.
God, okay. I've always loved like rangers and druids. Anytime I've been playing D&D, I've always started out as a druid and then added the ranger thing in, because I've always been bothered by the fact that druids can't use bows. It just bothers me.
They're tree worshippers, so maybe bending the tree.
No, it's not like you don't make a bow out of green wood anyway, so that doesn't matter. So anyway, but basically, if you had sort of a hybrid of a ranger druid style, that's kind of my ideal thing. It's mostly the shape shifting and the bow using that I really like.
Mr. Locke.
Hello. I remember I said in one of my videos something about a sumo pirate. I'll go for that. I like generally in games I like sort of initiator type things. I like things that have got like a charge and a stun. That's how I like to play. So I suppose something with a leap, something with a charge. I tend to like heavy armor. Not warriors though.
I was gonna say that sounds exactly like a warrior.
I know, yeah, but I tend to avoid warriors because it's very sort of vanilla, and I like something a little bit more interesting. So I tend to be sort of in the paladin-y type of mold.
See,
I like
leak.
melee. I like being up close.
I thought you said something with a leak.
Something with a leak.
Oh God! Somebody hand me the patch.
Tobran.
Probably some sort of mix up between like a ranger and a beast lord. Like I like having a pet. Sorry, I like having a pet, but some games just don't seem to have rangers with a pet, and I used to be really annoyed if I could have like a beast lord with a mix with a ranger. It'd be totally awesome. So I can have the range DPS and the melee DPS with my awesome pet.
Sounds good. Reese.
The lost art of geomancy. So allegedly in EQ or EQ2, there had been the art of geomancy, which is, of course, being able to manipulate the earth and terrain and such itself. And so the idea that it was allegedly a lost art in those ones, well, bring it back. So, being able to literally use the terrain around you as your weapon, being able to pull up giant boulders and chuck them at stuff, being able to trap things in cages of stone and then fill it with lava, stuff like that. Mean stuff.
I want to do necromancy because I loved the necromancer in EverQuest 1 compared to like EQ 2, and even compared to even Guild Wars. Like they have Guild Wars 2 has a necromancer, but the pets are made of sort of like these pussy kind of floating globules, and it just didn't really look to me like a real necromancer type pet. In EverQuest, though, the original one, you were like running around with Harryhausen type of skeletons chasing behind you, and I really dug it. I thought it would be cool, like just to bring something dead up out of the ground and use it to fight for you, because it's almost like, well, it was dead to begin with. I brought it back to life enough to fight for me, so if it dies again, I really don't feel so bad, But if you got like this cat pet that you've had forever and it just croaks because it got eaten by something, you're like, oh, Fluffy,
And they have the most wonderful laugh when you bring them back too.
Yeah, that kind of cackle they used to do.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love that.
I only know that because of watching Tobran and Locke doing that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Watching them get slaughtered.
They are bringing back the noise and the funk, those two.
That's a way to put it.
The noise wasn't brilliant, but the funk made up for it.
Definitely much funk.
You're mentioning of a dear lost pet just made me think of Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, great. That's awesome.
Yeah, if I could bring back a cat that was like psycho crazy, insane, and demonic, I would love it as a pet. Just to launch it at some rare mob.
With a catapult?
Or just like a sack of them. You could just throw
them.
Pull them
And
out
every once in a while
with
their heads come off or something like that.
U-Class Crazy Cat Lady. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which actually they just get in WoW. I've noticed that there's some title now. Somehow you can get Crazy Cat Lady even if you're a male character. I don't understand. I'm lost. All right, next question. We got a lot of questions now, so that's good. All right.
Oh god.
Oh, we do. Oh, well. So from EQN Knights, the question is, thoughts of larger scale guild activities for Next and Landmark, i.e. what would you like to see?
I could talk about this for at least 2 hours. That's
Go ahead,
don't.
Locke. I mean,
Go.
yes. Go ahead, Locke.
This is the trouble, isn't it? With so many different classes and possibilities, and we've heard about the MOBA style combat, which doesn't really scale very well. How are you going to get like a really big group of people to all be doing the same thing at the same time? It is something that I've put a lot of thought into, and it's difficult, really, isn't it? With procedural content, are you really going to get a group of 40 people together to just go out into the world and look for a dragon? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Taser. They'll do
Just
it.
a taser.
No, you can make them do it.
You think so? The 40-man raids and stuff like that is just not going to happen, is what you're saying?
I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just wondering, like, what types of activities we can expect if it's if the content is procedurally generated for the most part. If we're going to be going out and looking for things to do, like what large scale activities, without the Trinity system of combat, there's a lot of different ways you can approach combat, but none of them, none of the ways that we've discussed or heard about in the early development of Quest Next so far have really been anything that scales in the same way. So it's very easy, like with a kind of MOBA style combat, 5-on-5, brilliant, works really well. But as soon as you get really large groups together, like how do you account for that, like without it becoming a real Zergy mess, which I suppose is the worry that everyone's got so far. So I don't know, larger guild activities. I mean, what I'd love is things like, castle sieges with, activities for smaller groups to meaningfully engage in, something shorter that, a siege that maybe lasts half an hour where you have different like ways to get in simultaneously, like, where like organization, tactical play, and skill like play a larger role than just being able to get a large mass of people together. But I think it's difficult. I think it's going to be a real challenge development wise. Even on the PvE side of it with rallying calls, like
the rallying calls would be good. But I actually looked at this question in a completely different way. I was sort of thinking, what could the guilds themselves come up with to do large scale type things? So,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking. I mean, and I'm gonna sound a bit geeky here, but I know Trendane's in my ballpark with this. I like to do role playing in old EverQuest and really role play, and we would actually have like guild weddings, and we'd have guild events where we all kind of got together. We'd find some place where there's some sort of amphitheater type of setting, and we'd sit around and we would do like guildly monthly meetings where everyone would be in character, and we would do things there, and that was actually really fun. And I don't know if we can expect that sort of thing in this game. I mean, that we're still so far off before EverQuest next comes out, but I think we could leave it up to the guilds to kind of come up with some large-scale things to do within themselves.
Well, yeah, but I think there has to be content within the game also. I mean, it's obviously I've done RP events like that before as well, and obviously, Tobran will tell you that I am a pretty excellent RP companion.
Oh yeah.
in EverQuest especially. So I think as well as guilds being able to get together and do their own thing, which will definitely happen. But I think if you don't have any, if SOE aren't providing any content for large groups to be going after, I think it's going to be pretty tricky.
Yeah.
Just to sort of retain people, if there's only sort of 5 to 8 man content, I think people are going to start saying very early, there's nothing to do. Like, I mean, we've still got like the big thing where they're going to have to say like, we don't have typical MMO raids. They're going to have to come out and say to the MMO community at large, like, you're not going to be going to the same dungeon every night to fight the same boss over and over again, and they're going to have to suffer the fallout from that. And if they don't have anything, it sounds ridiculous, it sounds awful, but like if they don't have anything that's going to replace that, I think there's going to be a bit of a backlash, and they're gonna potentially lose a lot of interested people.
I think they're going to make the world tough enough. If you go out with a team of 50 people, the world will match your scale and give you a challenge. That there will be tools in place, or otherwise the way the AIs will actually work will potentially, if there's a large group coming and a couple of things, spot you and scout ahead, they'll run back and then call for reinforcements, and then you're getting surrounded by orcs. Or if you're you just go out 50 people in the world, and you're out in the middle of the wilderness, and I don't know, whatever fates they build into the game, and the server decides, okay, a dragon's gonna come for you guys, good luck. That sort of thing. Or like an iron golem, you just accidentally step on a switch somewhere, and it pops out of nowhere and starts beating the hell out of you guys. That's the sort of thing I could even see. You don't even necessarily need a guild. You can just have every Friday night meet at the gates of X town, group up, and we'll go and see what we do. That sort of thing. When I think of things for a guild, I think of like a group crafting thing where I can put my crafting power on the line. So when I log out, or when I'm just idle or whatever in the crafting hall, somebody else can kind of borrow my expertise and borrow my ability, and they'll be able to either bang out the item quicker that they're making, or utilize my skill to actually improve the crafting, or be able to produce a better product. So there's that. But then also thinking about for Landmark, not necessarily the item crafting, but just building. To have guilds that just get on, and every Friday night it's like, all right, somebody put up a screenshot, we voted on it, that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend the next 4 or 6 hours rebuilding this screenshot as terrain in the game in Landmark. That's definitely the sort of guild thing I'd love to see.
Okay.
Yeah, in Landmark, absolutely. I hope that happens a lot. There's a lot of communal building. It'd be good for
Trendane. Want to go for our next one?
From Val Ravney. What about that question I already asked and you guys already answered? Which was the, if you could make a class, what would it be?
Yeah.
And so...
Suma Pirate.
It's the question.
This one here, do you think landmarks should remain neutral and stick to just the human race, or would you like to see other Norathian races included, or even races beyond the scope of the EverQuest franchise?
Like some kind of space aliens?
Yeah, Araxians. We don't die. We just come back. No, that's...
unless we delete our characters.
Yeah, unless. But that's...
We're on a hardcore server.
That's something that I'm hoping we're going to get the tools to actually, you build a character, you use a skeleton that they provide, and then you rig the character to that skeleton, then all of the animations and actions that are either built in with that skeleton or that other people have made with that skeleton will then be able to be applied to that, character or race, so you can have bipedal or quadrupedal creatures that you actually make and build and put into the game. Not necessarily Spore. I'm thinking this might actually have to be a little bit more technical than that. It could actually be done in the scale of Spore, but that might be more of a limited thing compared to like somebody actually going in Blender or Maya or 3ds Max and actually fully building a detailed character, rigging it up, and maybe even building some custom animations for it and being able to import that via Player Studio into Landmark. Because that's if the ultimate goal is to have the most sandboxiest of sandboxes ever, we're going to need to be able to make our own races and import them somehow.
Well, this is a question that I've asked many times before, and we've seen so much about the building tools of Landmark, but we know they've said there's more tools coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I've asked before, like, why can't there be a 3D modeler in Landmark that we use in the same way? Like, why is it so easy for people to accept that we can build the world and everything using tools in Landmark, but as soon as it comes to 3D modeling, people are like, oh no, you'll need to use a separate program for that? Why couldn't they make tools in a similar way to Landmark?
This is just my opinion. I just from my limited use of, I've been doing 3D modeling for a while, but I'm not that great at it, okay? But every time, say like I develop a slab of concrete, and my slab of concrete is different than your slab of concrete, what'll have to happen is every single person that needs to see that slab of concrete will have to download my texture file included in there. So now if you're talking about a new race, then every single person in the game has to download that race texture file, and then it gets to be really unwieldy. Basically, everybody would be consistently downloading different, not just the meshes. The meshes obviously could be made by the game itself and the game engine, that's okay. But the overlying textures that go over it would be, every single person would need a new one. So I'm thinking that might be what's holding him back from doing that. I mean, if you're going to use a standard wood texture, sure. If you're going to use a standard stone texture, sure. But when you start getting into the custom stuff, then that might be where it causes some issues with growth, like over time.
And I think it could be solved as a claim-specific thing, that if you're trying to go into a claim or a region of claims where these races and these rules and stuff exist.
Like a special server that runs this particular game model that you're made, like some kind of a dungeon in there or whatever. Yeah, then
Or even within part of one of the actual EQN, Landmark servers, that it's just your section and you've just been able to apply special rules. When someone reaches the perimeter, they'll be prompted, you have to download X content in order to, proceed and continue in this area. Do you accept?
That's something you do in DayZ. There's the main map, the Cheneroos map, but there's also the Tiviana map and all these other maps that you'd have to download whole new sections. And once you've got it and you've updated your client to be able to play that, then you can play in that server.
The Neverwinter Nights, the original Neverwinter Nights Persistent Worlds, a lot of those were the same way. If they had specific hack packs, you'd have to go and download them because there were special animations that people had rigged up or whatever, and yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Next question I can see is from Alice8, who asks, EQN, more sandbox or theme park?
Yes, please.
Sand park? No, it's just pretty much just sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Theme park. It's just it's a sandbox game.
Yeah, sandbox game. We haven't heard anything to the contrary. It seemed to sort of, for a little while, it became a thing to say on the forums. It was like, oh, EverQuest Next, they said it was a sandbox, but it's looking more and more like a theme park. And then you say to people, what have they said? What have they said that make it and they go, oh, it's just a feeling I have.
Down deep in
It's
my
just
gut.
from their attitude. The way that Terry tossed his hair said everything that needed to.
At some point, Omid is going to be drunk out of his mind, and I am going to convince him that one of the tagline things for I almost said Lexmark. No, that's a printer company.
Yes.
For Landmark is so sandbox your cat will want to shit in it.
I think you could.
That's
make
a great tagline. I don't know why they wouldn't use something like that.
I don't either.
I mean, that would be everywhere in the magazines.
Yeah,
It's a great tagline. I think that's perfect.
I agree.
All right.
There are some, supposedly theme park elements like, instant content or fast travel. I see Diggs is mentioning there in chat. Diggs.
What does fast travel have to do with theme?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. There's things that can appear in both sandbox or theme park. I mean, this has got characters. It's going to have potentially levels and an item system. Theme parks have those. Are you sure this isn't a theme park? It's it's
I'm
hard
using
to
my
really.
keyboard and mouse to play it. Doesn't
Okay.
that mean it's a theme? I'm sitting here.
Exactly.
A theme park with fast travel is just Disney World with a monorail. That's all it is.
I've thought about this more and more. If you look at the way MMOs have gone, like World of Warcraft, like more and more is just click the button, get teleported to the content. Click the button, get teleported to the content. They might as well remove the whole game other than the 2 capital cities for all the difference it would make now.
That's exactly what my wife and we have some friends here locally that we're playing WoW with. Once you hit level 15, you basically stay in an instance all the way until you hit 90.
The world doesn't matter. So even the fact, it's weird. Like even the fact that a theme park has fast travel doesn't really matter because you don't need to go anywhere in the world. You're just so you're just teleporting. So in fact, a system of fast travel is more of a sandbox implementation because you need to travel around the world. Just saying,
Yes,
Just saying.
Diggs was actually playing, guys. He says that's what people say. Keyboards make it a theme park.
Yeah. What about trackballs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trackballs make it a theme park.
I don't know. I think trackballs actually make it a scientific tool or like something you'll see at a museum.
Yeah.
That's a thumb trackball. You don't have a hardcore 8-ball trackball. That's
No, I don't have one of those like $3,000 scientific performance track. I really want one because I really want to build like a crazy trackball thing that's going to be more awesome than this, but that'll be later down the road.
That's okay.
when I
Nice and vague. Okay.
I can't get into too much detail, otherwise you'll have to all sign NDAs, and that's a lot of paperwork.
It is a lot of paperwork for the NDA.
The NDA at EA is like 1 page. What's the big deal?
That's EA.
Yeah. We were going to go to. I went to lunch with my old team today. We were going to go to Espitos, which is this wonderful. Remember, Tobran, I told you when you're in Las Vegas, find a Brazilian barbecue, that thing where you just sit down and they just bring you swords full of meat, and you're like, "Can I get a salad?" And they're like, "No, get out," kind of thing.
Yes.
That's the way it was for my 25th birthday in Las Vegas. It was my boyfriend took me out. Anyway, so we were going to go to one up near EA today, and we called and they said, "No, we are completely booked." I'm like, "You're not even open yet." They're like, "We are completely booked." So we wound up going to Outback Steakhouse. So yeah.
Did you get meat though?
I did get meat. I got a fairly decent. It was a braised cat's tongue, I think. No,
Nice.
it was a 12-ounce fillet.
If it isn't bacon wrapped, it's just not the same.
I know.
Because that's the other thing about the Brazilian barbecue. There's a lot of stuff that's bacon wrapped. It's so good.
Cannot turn it down. Okay, moving on. Let's get on.
Okay, right. Yeah, that way. So, question from somebody. Do you think they will have just one large section of each continent, be a particular biome, as opposed to Minecraft, where you have multiple areas in each biome type?
I don't think they're going to hardcore set it up because in the video they even showed Landmark where you could take the desert and turn it into snow. Like all you need to do is to lay down the snow texture on top of your desert landmark or desert area, and then poof, now it's a a snowy biome.
And then you start digging, and is it still snow underneath?
It is.
I kind of hope that every individual server on Landmark will each be procedurally generated of its own, that none of them are the same, they're all unique and different. I think that would be awesome, because then it's really ultimate sandbox at that point. Every server is a completely different experience.
Mm-hmm.
And to that extent, no, things wouldn't be grouped up. It'd be all over the place. It'd be pretty awesome.
Tobran,
Yes,
you have not said much lately,
I have not.
so go ahead.
He's out of cocaine.
Yeah, he's on coming down off the high now.
Great. I've lost my train of thought. Damn it.
We're
Going-
talking about what do we think about the biomes? Are they all going to be one area that's a biome, or are they clumped
No,
together?
no. I just feel like they're all going to be grouped together like Minecraft. To me, that just makes sense. Having different continents making it probably not harder to get to, but you're not going to be close to friends. But say, oh, I want desert. You can't find desert and snow together because they're going to be on two different islands now. So, if they're on the same island, that makes more sense. And of course, if they want to, you can just change the landscape as we saw in an earlier video of desert to snow or whatever. So.
Okay, but what about like how much? Degradation is the word that's coming to mind. But how much drift will there be between the two? Are we talking like a hard edge? You're about to go to Las Vegas, and when you go from New York, to whatever the Paris one is, or to the Luxor, you've gone from France to Egypt, like that, and it's just like, I mean, should there be a slow change as you go from one biome to the other?
Personally, no.
Really? You just want to
Yeah.
see snow laying next to...
If someone wants to build something, let them just build it. Maybe someone's got a crazy idea of linking two together, but someone wants snow and desert. Yeah, as I said before, but they can do that because they're together. But they can just change their
But then
landscape.
it just
as
looks
they
like the ground in the desert was covered with marshmallow fluff. Like,
It does
somebody's
snow
had
in the
fluff.
desert.
But not in like the direct sunlight blazing down and cactuses.
No,
and-
but I mean, perhaps it would be better to say, snow and rainforest.
Okay.
Those,
Yeah.
just because it does get cold on the desert. So.
There is definitely, gradual transition from one biome to another, and it, they've said that claims won't all necessarily be on top of each other. There will be space in between. To what extent, I don't know if they're talking like, claims that aren't actually tied together, there's space in between, or if each claim will absolutely have space in between that you just have no control over. But if I'm building and I'm doing snow and you're doing, jungle or whatever, and somebody else is doing desert, and it's all like butting up on itself, I could see how the zones in between could end up either changing on their own or otherwise just kind of being an ugly divider that separates those claims and thus separates those player positioned biomes. Ones that are actually put in the game, just as the server is generated, I'm pretty sure we'll have some amount of gradual, change over time or change over distance rather from one biome to another.
If they don't, then we can get a bunch of characters together and we can remake Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. Does it go from desert to snowy, just blizzard within a few miles? That would be perfect.
Sounds great.
Sorry.
All right, next.
Next question then. Okay, this question is for Locke and Tobran. What do you especially love about your recent adventure in the original EverQuest that you would love to see carried forward into Next and/or Landmark?
Flippy Dark
My
Paw, there
buddy
you go.
Tobran, yay!
Fippy Darkpaw will probably be there for sure.
Forever. What do you especially love? It sounds weird, but I do sort of like being a bit lost and a
Yes.
bit, yeah.
It takes a while for it to sink in, but then you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just go out and explore, and it's an awesome feeling.
So, yeah, it really is. It really is kind of liberating after a while. I do say, I've said before that I don't feel like it really kind of shows you what is possible or like how to do things enough.
it's just
but
kinda like
in terms-
you figure it
in terms of
out.
just- yeah, like just letting you saying, okay, there's the world. Go and have an adventure. Because that's the fun part, isn't it? The discovery is the fun part, and then later on comes the spreadsheets and the looking things up on the wiki.
Min-maxing. And
exactly. For that first little kind of pure moment where you've got no idea what's going on, and you just run around and
Yeah, you just lose yourself in the world. It's brilliant.
yeah, just feeling like you're just in a place, and so much is possible, so much sort of potential. So yeah, I guess that'd be my answer to that.
And what is your perfect group size? 4, 5, 6, more, less? Me, I just want a boyfriend. That's all I want.
That's all he wants.
Trendane's on the market too, fellas.
Yeah.
So.
Well, everybody in this chat knows where my heart truly belongs.
I think he's married.
Don't ruin this for me.
I'm sorry.
Why you gotta crush a man's heart?
We already talked
Live
about
on
it after
Twitch.
we stopped recording the last time about the rage that I felt at the end of the. Just fucking.
Sorry,
back to
Trent, I've got to
back
tell
to the
you
question.
something after this one.
Don't you do it.
Yeah, let's not go there.
I think 10,000 is a pretty good group size. You build it, get a lot done with 10,000.
I think odd numbers work better for some reason.
10,001?
Yeah. No.
10,003.
Seriously though, I think maybe like a 7 or a 5. 7's even kind of pushing it, I think.
Without the Trinity, it's really hard to say. I think of grouping in,
That's true, too.
DC Universe Online. It's just as fun to go solo as it is to go with 4 people or even a larger group. Especially if there's the content to actually accommodate it. Even though, the party in World of Warcraft was 5, I'd often just make a group just for, roaming around in the world, or a raid rather, for roaming around in the world. And, we'd be 25 strong, going through some place, ganking people left and right, because I don't know about this flag PvP stuff, but when I was playing on PvP server, it was just, you kill each other. It was a gank fest. It was bloody and brutal. And it was so much fun because my Tauren Shaman engineer had every schematic and so much other stuff and all the top raid gear because I was a guild leader and got all the raid points. So I was just blasting people left and right. It's a lot of fun. I don't know how open the PvP is going to be, but if I'm doing open world PvP, I don't bring 2 or 3 people. I bring a crew and we just blast people. That's how I roll.
It only burns when I PvP.
Nasty.
Yeah. All right. Next. Or did you have something to say, Trendane?
I already communicated my.
Okay.
Well, no, and part of what I was going to say, Neurotoxin covered with, I would not go with any group number that was any variant of 3, just to try to avoid the instinct of trying to form a trinity. So, not 3, not 6, not 9, not 12, but something else. Anyway, so some dick asks, will SO emote be able to outperform face rig?
Okay,
Well, I wonder who asked that.
Trendane asked that, but
What's
let me say something. I watched the face rig video that they put. I saw on Reddit, and it got lots of people talking about it and everything like that. It looks identical to EverQuest 2 SO emote. I didn't see anything different other than the fact that the character was a little bit better of a model, obviously, than what they had in EverQuest 2. What's going to happen in EverQuest Next and Landmark? It's going to be way better, and I'm guessing all the characters are going to look just like they do in the face rig video. And I'm sorry I don't have it available. If I knew we were going to talk about this topic tonight, I could have actually got the video and shown it. But basically, it looks a lot like SO emote. They don't show the dots around the face the same way that they do with SO emote, but it works the same way. You raise your eyebrows, the character's eyebrows raise. If you make a face, it makes the same face you do.
And they used a fairly young girl for the thing, so that leads me to believe that they likely have similar limitations that those of us who are, somewhat embearded, that it might have a little bit more trouble
Sucks to
tracking.
be You.
I don't
I
think
have
so,
to
because
say.
with SO emote, I did it when I still had a beard, and it just copies the edge of your lips. So as long as your mustache is trimmed back enough, I think you'll be okay.
So if I go all ZZ Top,
It was a little bit funny with mine,
Did you try it?
the top.
The top
Yeah,
lip.
a lot of the time it thought my mouth was open for some reason, so I'd just be there like that.
It kind of did the same thing to me, but I was eating KFC at the time. So my character's pop, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just chewing, and I'm chewing with my mouth closed. Why the hell are you doing that?
Shrouded Hope says in EQN all the characters are designed to take SOE emote into account, whereas EQ2 they were introduced as a new tech to an ancient game. Yeah.
You could see like when they did the demo, when they did the big reveal and everything, they said, these are the sort of emotes that we have for the characters, and I do feel like it's going to be a kind of step forward for the technology where the SOE mode will recognize when you're making certain facial expressions, but instead of tracking them perfectly, it might do a slightly emphasized version of what you're doing already. Like that's what I'd like to see. So you could kind of use your facial expressions and movement of your head to maybe trigger emotes within the game.
It's
going
to be very cartoon or very.
It needs to be big.
It's bigger. When you raise your eyebrows this much, your character's going to go much bigger. It's going to be very exaggerated looks.
Mm-hmm. And that's good. When you're viewing the world from a third person perspective like that, it makes sense. It's like it's like theater versus film, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When you're sitting in front of a TV and you've got someone's whole face right there in front of you, you can be Al Pacino, but like when you're
very
like
subtle faces.
Exactly, but when you're in an amphitheater, you want Brian Blessed.
Have you ever seen the makeup that you seen the makeup that they wear when they do theater? It's extremely like the rouge on the face and everything is just extreme, so they can emote better. So when they're raising their eyebrows, you can see them raised because they've got such heavy eyeshadow.
It's just Frankenhooker from hell.
I'm thinking of Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I was thinking. I was thinking of it this week. In Dota 2, the art style it has a lot of similarities with the whole kind of cartoony look. But that means with what they can do with Dota 2 is they can make each different character very, very unique, like through their animations and through their sort of physical being, and it doesn't all kind of merge into one sort of soup. Of everything being very kind of like neutral, dreary colors, and everything looking similar. So I'm really glad they've gone for the art style they have. I think it's going to work really well with the sort of overall design philosophy of the game.
Yep.
I honestly can't say with face rig one way or the other. I feel like it's one of those whatever works best that SOE mode on their own product might work better for face rig for this project, but maybe I'm making something on the CryEngine or something that for whatever reason face rig integrates better, and of course SOE mode's proprietary, so I wouldn't have access for it there. But some of it might also be a factor of what nice. I just saw that on the live stream thing.
Yeah, so now
I was wondering when you guys are going to see it.
Yeah, so the other thing I think about is how well the system works with the facial rigs and the animation, and that could also be the limiting factor. Is that if a SO emote starts having issues, it might be a matter of adjusting the facial rigs, and then it might be somewhere down the road that the facial rigs are just fine, but then SOE mode is having some issues with the new implementation. It's really hard to say. I don't work on either project or face rig, so it's just blowing smoke out of something.
It's good though. Like any sort of press that face rig gets, it's going to come back to EverQuest Next and Landmark, and people are going to say, "Look at this other thing that already does it." So
and they're actually going to be using I actually think they are using face rig. They licensed face rig for Star Citizen. Like I think what I saw when I saw them talking, Star Citizen's going to have it too. I mean, I think many new games that are coming out are going to take advantage of this, because you have the ability to impart your expressions into a character inside of a game, and I think it works no matter, even if the game's ultra realistic or cartoony, it works no matter how you look at it.
You should have seen the Twitter explosion in furry circles when that freaking video went up. Furries all over the freaking world like oh,
but yeah, it's kind of a fantasy, right?
Well, not mine. My fantasies have nothing. Well,
anyway, most people, most furries' fantasies, they want to live through their character that they are wearing. So that at least they can do that in that game. So it's kind of a cool way to look at that. And then, of course, even if you weren't into the furry type of characters, you could go into dark elves or ogres or all these really cool characters that you obviously wouldn't be able to put all that makeup on your face every day to role play out, where you could do it in SOE mode and in these other type of games. All right, that was a good chat about that. Are we ready to move on?
Sure.
Okay.
So the next question, it's from Pixelgrass, and it sort of touches on a question that I had asked before about flash floods and whatnot, and that is, do you think they will have any physics, e.g., be able to start an avalanche?
We did see the voxel farm. Well, some of us have seen the voxel farm video where he goes and builds things and cuts holes out of them, and you watch things fall off and break and stuff. So I think so. But as far as like on the land, I mean, you're digging this massive hole, and I don't see any kind of like stuff falling in as of yet.
I don't think the voxels will form like cornices and things that you could knock off, but
right.
I mean, it makes sense to me that the way that I presume the voxel physics are going to work, that a flash flood in a gully could start on its own, as all the water from the rain, if it is actual voxel raindrops, could come down and begin to coalesce, and it would just create a flood naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, that's obviously something that we want to see. In that voxel farm video, we saw, things falling with physics. They were bouncing off things and rolling and falling in an impressively natural sort of way. To be honest, you could see there was kind of gravity at work, and momentum was part of it as well. So that was amazing. I mean, obviously taking that and putting it in an MMO space is, it's a different thing. But fingers crossed. I'd love to see that. Anything that increases the possibility space of what we can do within Landmark is something that I got my fingers crossed for. So yes, I hope so, and probably. Keep your fingers crossed.
You too?
You guys, anything? Nothing?
If once they actually implement physics and stuff in Landmark, I'd love to see that translate over to Next. I have a feeling we're going to see some really nice physics in Next, but I think it's going to be kind of a long time in Landmark before those physics will actually be solid, especially to be able to actually, form water into a river or some sort of running stream of some sort, or even to be able to actually have elements of erosion occur from not just water and digging a trench in the dirt, but even going beyond that, and places that are like mountains that are sun-baked for a while, that then the water starts getting into the cracks, and then the erosion starts going on in the actual rocks and stuff. That's getting even further with the physics, and I'd really love to see them do that. Mm-hmm. But it's it's just a matter of, I guess, how far they can get with it in Landmark and how much of it they can get into Next, and then going from there to see how much more they can get in from that point on. It could be really awesome. It could be kept limited just so that way it can't be exploited. Who knows? I mean, someone could be, like me going and tree bagging someone could go and try to dig something just up like a little ditch above somebody's house, and then dump a bunch of water there and see if they can cause a mudslide to wash their house away or something. Now, obviously, that's not going to work necessarily with the claim system unless they let you do that. But I'm thinking more in Next necessarily, not necessarily in Landmark, but just Next in general, being able to do that sort of trolling and actually like environmental trolling and doing what you can before the world heals back, basically.
Maybe.
Like, you've just hit the point I was just going to make across. Landmark is building what you want. If other people can cause a landslide, or it just naturally happens, and your claim's like covered in snow, or there's got a river running through it or something, you're not going to enjoy that. It's more something I'd like to see in Next rather than Landmark. But of course, if you want to be able to do it, you should be able to do it. But it shouldn't naturally happen, is more what I'm getting at.
That's where the checkbox, use full physics, i.e. avalanches and flash floods. Click. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, next from Snowman Vicky. Since story bricks are going to be used, do you think running around in giant hordes of players will make monsters/enemies run away or not even appear because they know they would die?
I'm gonna drop a story brick on that giant horde. uh,
I think
Okay,
we
good. Nice
talked about
talk.
Good answer, yeah.
we talked about this a little bit last week, weren't we? And I think
Yeah,
the general consensus was like it's the type of thing that will happen, but it will probably take time for things to sort of move away from the area that the big group are in. So I don't know. It sounded like from what Mr. Dariari said. But it's not the type of thing that will immediately happen. That seemed to be what he was hinting at. But I mean that'd be ideal for me. If players just sort of blob together and tear across the world. Like I don't want to see that. That's no. Not in a PvE sense. Like maybe if it made sense in a PvP situation. But if you're just running around like just ripping up everything in your path.
150 heavy horse just tearing through the plains. Yeah, I'll get out of their way, I think.
Real quick in chat, they were talking about back a few topics ago, I guess. Will they have voice fonts? And yes, they will. They talked about they're going to have voice fonts with the SO emote. So if you are playing a female character and you're not a female, you can make it sound like you are a female.
Oh, that kind of voice. Okay.
Yeah,
just to make yourself sound like Elf Trendo.
Not everybody can do voices like you, Trendane. So
thank God.
They're going to offer the ability to sound like a troll or an ogre or whatever. So anyway, back to topics. Sorry, I just saw it going in chat, and we just got through talking about it, so I didn't want to let it get too far.
We know the AI will. Did anybody else have anything else they wanted to say on that last one? Okay. We know the AI will recognize the actions and achievements of players. Would you like to see the AI also recognize the guilds as well? Yes. And by that I mean, I assume they mean the guild's achievements and everything.
So, like, if you're a member of a guild and you walk into a town that the guild has repeatedly saved over and over again, then they recognize you're one of the members of that guild, and they should respect you in some way. I could see that being a possibility.
How?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
how do they recognize you?
What if
guild capes?
Guild tabard.
So if you don't have that tabard on, they won't recognize you if they've never seen you before. Let's say you just joined the guild and you got your tabard, you put it on, or you don't put it on, you walk into the thing. Now, according to the system, you're part of this guild. Are the NPCs going to recognize that if you don't have your tabard on?
I don't see that being completely outside the realm of Storybricks at all. I think they could easily put on that if make a situational thing, an if-then statement. So if you're wearing the tabard, then they go down this tree line. If you're not, then they skip over it and move on.
Because there can be two running in parallel, can't?
Yeah.
So they'll remember your personal contribution to whatever's happening, but then at the same time they'll recognise whatever guild tabard you happen to have on.
So what if the two are in conflict? What if, say, you as an individual have been screwing these people over for a long time, but the guild has been doing lots and lots of good works in a particular area? What happens then?
They will respect the guild side because that's the one they have to respect, but on the side they won't give you any kind of special breaks or something.
Could have different perks. Could be they do conflict. It could be that certain NPCs would, respect the guild enough to overlook it, whereas others might not. Because I know that different NPCs could maybe have different ideas about what they like and what they don't like. So maybe some NPCs could be quite nonplussed about the fact that the guild's been saving the town and really, really hate the fact that you've been doing them over for a while. So maybe it wouldn't affect them that you were a member of the guild at all. Whereas someone else could be the opposite way inclined and overlook your personal representation because they have so much respect for the guild that you're in.
Yeah.
Or the reverse, where the guild has been attacking the town and you've been sneaking in and secretly helping them, like you are part of the French resistance or something.
And they know you're a double agent. I suppose, it's interesting to speculate on.
Let me see that.
What was I thinking? I had a note somewhere about a sort of Storybrick style AI combat design.
And some of you people in the audience who may be not familiar with EverQuest Next think that we're making this kind of stuff up, but Storybricks actually has the ability to do this very easily inside the programming of Storybricks.
It's just the way the.
Here's a question for Trendane.
Well, wait a minute. I thought Locke had
No, this question. You have to watch
a
it.
post-it note he was looking for.
Don't worry.
I have to watch what?
Watch the stream.
It's not
Watch
the
the
type of thing that we're gonna get into here.
Trendans.
But the idea of the kind of if-when system, I was thinking about the AI involved in the sort of combat, what we were thinking about before, and I thought if you have that same type of system that tells mobs how to react within combat. What's he holding up?
She wants to see the top of your hat. Look.
I will.
No, it's cut off, so all it looks is like a phallic symbol sticking straight up, yes.
For me?
Yes.
Please.
All right, next question.
As if I would ever.
Should players be able to attack and kill any NPC in the game, or should certain NPCs be flagged as invulnerable? And I'm going to give my answer on this real quick.
Go.
One of the things that made Ultima Online legendary, as well as a legendary event which happened in Ultima Online, was when somebody killed Lord British.
The assassination of Lord British.
He came on really
Still
quick to
talking.
say, hey everybody, thanks for being in my game, and they're like, die! And they killed him on the steps of the castle.
But
Well,
you know what? We're still talking about that one event, that one time that happened.
Well, there's that
the
event,
whole
but
history of that game.
there is a bunch of other events that have happened that are like that, like the guy who's paid like $8,000 of real life money to get his ship in EVE Online, and then everyone just takes it out the minute.
But
it shows up.
again, EVE Online, another system where really like pretty much anything is possible in that way. Like there have been instances where players have got together and they've defeated, CCP armadas, and they've taken out stations that should not have been taken out, and it was very, very difficult, but it did happen.
That's why that system should always be in there. And
The
very
heist,
first.
that's the big one.
Well, I was going to say, the very first time I ever played EverQuest, the very first one, I walked up to Guard Jensen, and I wanted to ask him some question, and I literally right-clicked on him and attacked him and died. And I was like, wow! Oh my god. So, there should be that risk there that if you do something like attack a guard, you're going to either kill it or die instantly. Or maybe within a few hits.
Anything that sort of increases the possibility space, even if it never happens in the whole lifetime of the game, if you make it theoretically possible within the game, if players work out that it can be done, you will get one insane person who dedicates their entire life to making it happen, and it will be an amazing event and a beautiful story that we'll talk about for years and years. I mean, how many times do you teleport into a 5-man dungeon with people that you'll never speak to before, during, or ever again, and run the dungeon? And the most interesting thing that happens is the tank dies once and goes,
yeah.
Damn it, healer!
Or that guy from Brazil rolls need on everything.
Yeah, that's the most interesting thing. A warlock rolled need on some priest gear.
Yep.
At level 62, it matters. That's we don't want that anymore, do we? We've moved past that as MMO players, surely. And I think that being able to kill guys not easily, it shouldn't be the case that just a couple of people roll in and just decimate an entire city and all those NPCs are dead forever. But at the same time, it's possibility space is very important within a sandbox. You need to give those insane people goals, that they can go for, and it might take them a year, but they'll do it, and we'll talk about it for years and years to come.
We have to pick it up, guys. Speed round.
I was going to say rapid fire.
Speed round.
All right, so from Rabid Chicken 1100, where did you find those videos? I found the jungle one on David Jorgensen's Twitter, but I
found
can't
the answer to that.
All right, fine, cool. Moving on.
YouTube.
Yep,
From Lisa 11D162, when is the next episode of Party Like It's 1999?
Topographic just asked the same question, so.
Probably Monday. Hopefully, I'm working so much. You have no idea. I'm going insane.
There's a lot
but
of
it'll be really soon. We've still got loads in it. Yeah. Thank you for asking. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Would you like to be able to control the weather on your own plot in EverQuest Next landmark eventually?
Make it rain all
Yeah,
the
I'd
time
love
like
to.
in
It'd
England.
be brilliant.
Yes. I'd actually like to be able to assign semi-procedural or randomized fields where a certain region can have rain, a certain region can have snow, and they won't always be at the same time either. So it'll actually make it more of a unique space.
What are you, Jesus Christ?
Nah, his beard's a little more, I think, wide and
No,
bushy.
your name is Tim the Enchanter.
Tim?
But
Yes,
some
who
call
call
me-
you Tim?
And finally,
Oh, we're already up to a final question. I guess we didn't have to do too much of a speed round.
well, this question, unless you want to limit it to 140 characters. If you
Yeah,
couldn't
140
tweet this, don't answer.
Yep.
What specialized roles do you foresee players filling in Landmark?
Definitely those similar in Dota. You've got your initiators, your carries, your
Oh, is this in
other
Landmark?
things.
Landmark. Adventure,
Oh.
and probably adventure.
Yeah, adventure. But
No,
we're talking about
roles,
next.
roles is different to classes.
Oh,
remember.
true, yeah. Okay.
I think in
Digger,
roles like
Builder.
yeah,
I can see a lot of people just being explorers, just going around, seeing everything, taking it all in, not really doing much with the crafting. People who are doing crafting, building houses, building stories, building, terrain and stuff. There are people that might specifically be, all I want is to make stuff that I'm eventually going to put in Player Studio. So that's all I'm doing. Nothing else. Everything's, behind closed doors, behind curtains. Everything they're making is their own secret projects that they're trying somehow to get ready for the Narathian style so it can actually somehow make it into EverQuest Next. There's going to be people that are just going to be, enjoying combat and messing around with that. And there's going to be people that just want to be jerks.
The big things for me, that people that can organize, people that are going to get a big group of people together to do something really special. I think that they're going to be really important. Those guild leaders and people that can get shit done. And then storytellers when the AI comes in. Those people that have been running D&D campaigns for 30 years, and now they've got the tools to sort of visualize it in an MMO context. I can't wait to go through some of the stuff that those people are going to be doing, and hopefully all these people will hook up together and we'll end up with amazing content to play through, made by
That's a
really
great point, Locke.
talented people. Modders, oh my god, the Skyrim modding
Well,
community.
not just
That's-
even the modding part. The D&D aspect, we do a Pathfinder campaign, and we aren't like, I don't need to build a massive castle, but sometimes I'd like to make a house and be able to sort of show people what it looks like inside, and be very easy to do in Landmark. So even castles too, but that'll be later. All right, I guess that's pretty much it, right? Last of the questions. Okay, so we'll go around the room real quick. Locke, tell us about your channel, all the other stuff that's going on with you.
I have a channel on YouTube. It's called LockSixTime. I do a show called The Voxel Popular where I talk about design and EverQuest Next. I have another show called Party Like It's 1999 where me and Tobran do something. I haven't quite worked out what we're doing. I also have a EverQuest Next column on a website, what is called zam.com. So yeah, check it out.
Check it.
Follow me on Twitter.
Check it out.
Probably.
Tobran?
I also have a YouTube channel called Tobran Irnwood.
Okay.
I'm co-host on Party Likes 1999.
Host.
Well, things like the host. You're the host. You know what? Just get it.
Co-conspirator.
I have a weekly show called EQN Talk where I sum up all the news in a week in like 5 minutes. And quickly, I'm doing a Christmas live stream on Christmas Day at 6 p.m. GMT for 6 hours. So
Wow.
join me, and I have
What are
a
you
crap
playing?
ton of games to give away. We have plans for Dota, Counter-Strike, Quest for Mighty Loot, Just Cause 2, multiplayer. You know what? Just
Wait,
a
you're going to
massive
be
list.
playing all those games or giving them away?
Both.
Wow. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very
Well,
good.
can I get a copy of Dota 2?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
I'm pretty sure I have a beta invite like kicking around.
All right there, Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin.
Yep, that's actually, I've got my Twitter now at Legendary Neuro, and I'll type it in chat here.
Great.
And other than that, and hosting on here, and getting ready for hopefully another SOE Live panel. And well, I don't have to get ready soon; it's still a long ways away. And the weekly concept document series this week's once again was the item history and composition. Next week is going to be ancestral lineage, and that one should be kind of interesting and could be really weird, and could be really awesome.
Could be both.
Could be. All right, Trendane
Everywhere.
everywhere. And nothing
Trending
exciting new
everywhere.
coming on. You got your daily dairy.
My Dear Dairy is my daily vlog, which I was supposed to be dog sitting next week. Now it looks like I will not be doing it, so that's $300 out of my pocket. So
Oh, that sucks.
yeah. So hopefully my father sends me money for Christmas. $5,000, please, Dad. Let's see. Dear Dairy, and I will hopefully be, because I was kind of counting on that week of being in a house by myself to have the quiet time to be able to record the story that I'm supposed to narrate for Starship Sofa in England, and I'm not going to be there now, so this is going to be a very interesting week trying to get that thing together.
Why do they say not to do a Google for Trendane Rule 34?
A great question. I don't know.
Because Rule 34...
Do you know what Rule 34 is?
Well, I know what Rule 34 is.
Yeah.
There's lots of furry porn out there about my characters and whatnot, but I mean,
Rule
everything
34,
is...
for those who are asking, basically says that if there can be porn made of something, there will be porn made of something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the funny thing is I did do Trendane Rule 34, and my video, Mo Money, Mo Problems, thumbnail is the #1 search for that. How is that even possible?
You tell us, Tobran.
I don't know.
What have you been making videos of?
I don't know. It's like freaking me out now. I don't know. But anyway, time's up. We have to go.
What about you?
Oh yeah. I'm Geekdomo. Of course, I have been slowing down a lot. I just want to make a special announcement. I know that I have not made as many ramp up videos as of late. It's been mostly podcasts and live streams. It's just because I'm kind of stretched thin at the moment. So livecasts and these kind of streams, we do them right now, and then I upload them, and it's done. Whereas when I make those ramp up series videos, they take 8 to 10 hours of actual work of sitting down at the computer, doing the video rendering, slicing it all together, and all that. So it's just outside the scope of what I can do right now. I'm not saying I won't ever do them again. It's just I can't do them right at this very minute. So there we go. Aquian Knights is asking what tags did I use. I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure Rule 34 was not in that for that particular video. All right, so we will see you all very soon next week, and because we won't be seeing you until after Christmas, Merry Christmas to everybody, and Happy Hanukkah's already passed, so I apologize for those in the audience, and Merry Kwanzaa, and Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
You're a hoe, and you're a hoe, and you're a hoe, and you're a hoe. And...
So happy holidays, everyone. We will see you all next week on Friday.
Be careless.
Be careless. See ya.